Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Good evening. Welcome to the Exeter Planning Board of Thursday, September 26th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the Nowak Room of the Town Office Building located at 10 Front Street in Exeter, New Hampshire. We'll start with introducing the board members. We have two on Zoom tonight, and so we'll go through that process in a minute. I'm Langdon Plummer. I'm chair of the board. And to my left is...
Gwen English.
Nancy Belanger, Select Board Representative.
Thank you.
And John Gruder.
Who happens to be our clerk. Now, are you there, Jen?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you tell me where you are, please?
I am in my house.
Is anybody with you this evening?
There are other people. My son is in the house, but he's not in the room.
Okay, fine, thank you. And Pete,
Yes, sir.
how are you this evening?
President accounted for.
Oh, good.
Nancy is here, but she's leaving.
She's leaving, okay. And you're home because you're just not able to be home?
Yes, I'm, so wait a minute, I'm able, yes. I'm in skilled nursing up at the Riverwoods.
Thank you. Okay. So we do a roll call vote on all motions this evening because we are Zooming, and that makes everything payable. Now, before we go any further, have public notice, the application of Willie Creek Company, CKT Associates, Ray Farmstead Road, Planning Base Board Case Number 22-3, is scheduled for this evening's meeting, but it's been rescheduled for the November 21st, 2024 meeting at 7 p.m. at this location, and that was at the applicant's request. So if you came for that, you can stay and watch the rest of the show, or you can leave. So we first have some minutes to approve. They are the minutes of September 12, 2024. Are there any comments or changes or whatever?
Yeah,
Gwen, we'll start with you.
actually, I'm glad Henry's here. He might be able to help. On line 51 and 52, it reads, the property line, which is 4 feet, is now being moved to 10 feet, and they obtained relief from that. So the property line isn't moved, it's the building. How would you have, actually, this was one of your comments, so how would you prefer that be written on this?
Should have said moved away from the property line.
Okay.
Okay.
Moved the building from,
Okay.
and then I've got one other. It's on, let's see, on line 209. The name should be Caren and then capital VENCIS. And that sentence doesn't really make sense. She noted she was comfortable with the accessed, if widened, she would be okay with that. I think maybe it should read, she would be comfortable with the access being widened.
It was. I'm sorry. When I went to make sure that was the person, she did say that.
Okay,
I didn't catch the typos.
okay, yeah, it's confusing. That's all I had.
Coming with the widened access or something like that. Yeah.
I've got something.
Okay, John.
On line 68 and 69,
68, 69.
we're talking about some arborvitaes to put
Yes.
along the 60-foot area, I guess estimated by Henry at 60 feet, but is it 10, and this is probably a question for Jen, is it 10 trees that you want? Because if it's every 4 feet and it's 60 feet, it's going to be 16 trees. So,
Do you remember that, Jen?
any thoughts, Jen?
I don't remember specifically what we agreed to. I think we'd have to rewatch.
Is trend,
Well, I think Henry estimated 10, but they're going to be planted.
Aaron specified it was a minimum of 10 trees.
Okay.
rather than-
well, instead of approximately, we should do, I guess, a minimum.
Gee, Henry,
Trees.
could you come this evening?
Yeah, I guess so. Can't think of any place I'd rather be.
Ooh.
Anything you have, Nancy?
No, because I'm going to abstain anyway, so that's why
Okay.
On
Yeah.
lines 101 and 102,
101, excuse me, I didn't mean to leave you. Okay, 101, yes?
Aaron asked changes in square footage of the existing building versus post-construction. Mr. Boyd indicated 31,000 square feet.
Henry?
Henry? Yeah, here tonight to answer questions, aren't you?
Did you know you were going to be put on the spot
You
tonight?
might not have showed.
For a
Trusting
different
your
case.
memory.
So that home we're talking about, it's not 31,000 square feet, is it?
Oh, no.
Okay. Now, or 24% versus the 30,000 square.
With the lot area coverage, and what happened is that DTC had prepared the application, and I think the girl had used the square footage from the assessing office instead of taking it from our accurate survey plan.
Ah,
And I believe that's what I said
Is
at
that,
the meeting as well.
okay.
Well,
Is that the right? Oh, gosh, I hope that was the right.
change the square footage of the existing building versus post-construction. Mr. Boyd indicated 31,088 feet now versus, or 24% versus 30,000. Doesn't make
That can't be
sense.
the building
But
at
you,
all.
but you can get us the right info?
The right info is on the plan, it's just not on the application form.
So should we table these and be able to go back and watch again?
Yeah, unless.
they can probably
unless
figure it
Dave
out
can
if they watch
correct
it, but yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So is that a motion to table
I will make a motion to table
Okay.
meeting minutes of
on that,
September 12th, 2024.
getting that particular item figured out? Okay.
I'll second.
I'm moving second, all right. We'll have a vote, please, and one at a time. Nancy?
Aye.
Gwen?
Aye.
Aye. John?
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
And Pete?
3 of 8.
My magic cameraman. Where's Pete? We've lost him.
Well, I see everybody.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Do you say aye?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's a unanimous vote that
Okay.
we have tabled his minutes. Okay. All right, this evening, we're going to begin with the application from IOKA Properties LLC and DAC IV LLC for a lot line adjustment between the properties located at 53 Water Street and 45 Water Street. Subject properties are located in the WC Waterfront Commercial Zoning District. Tax map parcel 72-34 and 72-35, and is planning case number 24-14. And Dave, do you want to start us off, please? Oh, wait, we've got to open the case.
Yes,
Is it ready to be heard?
my opinion it is.
Okay, have a motion to hear the case, please? Don't all speak at
Yes.
once?
So moved.
I did it.
Okay.
Pete Beakup.
Sorry, I was about to sneeze. I couldn't speak for a moment.
Pete moved, and John?
Second.
Second, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Nancy?
Aye.
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 Pete?
Aye.
And Jen?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Now, Dave, could you start us off, please?
Yes, the proposed lot line adjustment will allow for the conveyance of 75 square feet of lot area from the Ioka Properties LLC property at 53 Water Street, tax map 7234, to the abutting property owned by DAC IV LLC at 45 Water Street, tax map 7235, to resolve an existing building encroachment, as you can see. The applicant submitted a lot line adjustment application, plan, and supporting documents dated April 26th. which are enclosed in your packet. There was no TRC review, however, the materials have been reviewed by staff for compliance with zoning and subdivision regulations, determined they are compliant with zoning and no relief is needed. And I did mention that the plan should show monumentation, but on further investigation, the two front corners are the building corners, so the corner is, so there's really nothing to pin. And the back ones, although they're free, they're in the river. So, decided
really
to
needed.
drop
Changed your mind.
that request to put monumentation. And if the board's so inclined, I do have one condition of approval, that standard regarding the DWG file be provided. Thank you.
Henry?
Good evening, Board. With me is Mr. David Cowie, I think everybody knows David. Everybody certainly knows the Ioka. So there's an odd jog, this little piece that comes out. The parcel itself was made up of several different tracks over the years as time went further on and the building expanded. There was need to buy and add different parcels. This one parcel that the entire lot is made up of, it actually juts out into and behind what used to be the Travel and Nature Building, which David also owns. The whole purpose here, I think it's the simplest case I think I've ever had before you, is this little, what I'm calling parcel A, will be essentially trimmed off and added to David's lot to the east. And the property line will be match the rest of it, as Mr. Sharple said. The building itself monuments the property line. It is dead on the property line. The other side is adjoined with the Masonic Hall, so those buildings form that property line. The same on this case, the alleyway is here, but the easterly property line of the Ioka is the building itself, and after this is cut out, that will continue to the river, as Dave said. These actually reside out into the river. So I don't think the alewives and the ducks would prefer us being out there.
Okay. So there'll be a little rectangular bump in that line now.
We'll be gone.
Will be gone.
Yeah, and that's what's odd about it, Lang, is currently there is a bump in the line.
Ah,
The bump will be gone. So it will have a common and a straight property line instead of having this. That parcel incidentally is 75 square foot, so that will be added to the lot to the east.
that's, okay.
That's all that happens.
Pretty complicated.
Yeah.
Now let's run over this again. Comments, questions?
I don't have any questions. It's pretty straightforward.
Any questions, Jen or Pete?
I'm just curious.
I'm all set, thank you.
Go ahead, Pete.
No, he said he's all set.
He's all set, okay.
Jen can go ahead.
Back to Jen.
Yeah, I was curious if we know why the bump, or have any theories as to why the bump existed.
Henry?
Yeah, I have a theory.
Oh, theory, good.
I believe, Jen, it was because when the property lines, these parcels were put together originally back in the day. I feel like I want to look at her, but I know she can't see me if I look that way. They didn't result from a survey. They were back way in the time. So if you look at the angular rotation of it and trying to make the deed distances work, they don't work. But placed on the ground, it juts out. I think probably it actually started at where the Masonic building line was and came over. If you did that, it still would jut over some, but when you add those distances and you try to put all of those old ancient descriptions on the ground that weren't the result of a survey, it falls like this, the best I can to put it together. So more than anything, it just cleans that
cleans it up,
history up.
yeah.
All of these lines that are within the building are gone anyway. They've merged
Yeah.
over the years. They can't exist when a building goes over the line. So in this sense, it simply just cleans everything up.
Okay.
And easement.
Gwen, Nancy?
No, I was just
No.
looking at the easement, but it looks, everything looks good.
Anybody in the public, let me open this up. Anybody in the public like to speak at this time? If so, please step to a microphone at the table if you wish to sit down, or Henry has the other microphone. He'll share with you. Not seeing anyone, I will close the public portion of the hearing. Well, does anybody want to make a motion?
Sure, let's
Okay.
do that.
Move that right along.
I will make a motion. Let's see, I move that the request of Ioka Properties LLC and DAC Roman numeral 4 LLC, Planning Board Case Number 24-14 for lot line adjustment be approved
With a following condition,
with the following conditions.
which,
A DWG file of the plan shall be provided to the town planner prior to signing the final plans. This plan must be an NAD 1983 state plane, New Hampshire FIPS 2,800 feet coordinates.
And I will second.
okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion on that? Then, Jen, how about we start with you, please?
Aye.
Thank you. Pete?
Aye.
Thank you. John?
Aye.
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 Unanimous? Okay, that carries.
Thank you.
Now, don't run off. I understand that the Exonian Properties LLC would like to
Yeah, they.
Request an
the same
extension of
group
the
here
planning-
has an extension. I thought just put
Yep.
them together because it's just
Because you're
such a
here now,
quick-
so we'll
it's such a
take with
quick,
that, care of that
Thing.
at this point. So, do we have a letter for that, Dave? I didn't.
Is it Barb?
Well, it probably didn't come in time for a packet.
Oh, Barb didn't send it to you?
No,
No.
nothing under other business came over.
You got it?
I have a copy of the letter.
There you go, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Why don't you read it to us, sir? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Once upon a time, thank you. Dear Chairman Plummer and board members, Exonian Properties LLC applicant has inadvertently failed to request an active extension of approvals as they were granted by the board on or about May 26, 2022. Accordingly, the applicant hereby respectfully requests a retroactive 2-year extension, and approval is granted, which, if approved, will be valid through May 26, 2026. Okay? That's a year, basically. Board previously approved a minor site plan review for the proposed multifamily condominium with 11 residential units converted from the former church building, which is a change in use. Board approvals included a waiver from Section 9.13.1 of the site plan review and the subdivision regulations for off-street parking, so was also granted by the Zoning Board of Adjustment. The Demolition Review Committee had initially met with the applicant to determine the structure to be significant. The Historical District Commission subsequently granted a certificate of appropriateness on February 17, 2022. As we hope you can appreciate, the renovations for this 150-year-old building have been proven complex and time-consuming. Along the way, the applicant has continued to challenge it as its team of architects and engineers to preserve as many of the key interior features as possible, such as the original wooden floors, posts, and beams, along with the ornate cast iron columns. The goal has required starting over again with alternate approaches and certainly points even changing on our team members, which in turn has cost additional time and incurred lengthy delays. The first full set of construction drawings necessary for preliminary budgeting were received late this spring. The next set of drawings necessary for a decision on contractor selections are expected early this fall. From issuance of a building permit, the applicant's currently projected timeframe to be complete the planned renovations as have been revised to 15 to 18 months. We ask that you please place this matter on the board's upcoming agenda on Thursday, 9/26/2024, and it was put there, and that's why we're discussing it now.
So, Mr. Chair, could you just repeat the date that they want the extension to? I have
May 26.
That's where I lost it,
2026.
is 20, okay. So we usually do that length of time? Not a year
I
at a
mean,
time?
you're free to do whatever you choose. But I think, are you thinking you're gonna be finished by that date? Is that why you picked that date? Because I asked, because once you get a building permit approved the day of the final day of your, site plan approval, that buys you another 180 days to get started, and then another 6 months to 12 months to finish it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a building permit and the site plan lapses, it doesn't matter.
We have a building permit and the site plan lapses.
It doesn't matter. So you don't need, if you're saying, are you finishing you're gonna finish in May 26th?
We would like to be.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, you can do that.
I kind of got lost there for a moment.
Well,
Do
it's
they
just-
need this or not? They're-
You know,
yeah.
he needs an extension.
He needs it, but more than a year.
He absolutely needs an extension,
Okay.
but I think he was asking for an extension to go beyond when it was like, CO. But
Right.
once you get a building permit, you buy yourself
Okay.
another year and a half.
Yeah, I got
Got it.
I think my mind is.
Regardless
Yeah.
of the site plan extension.
Yeah, because we
We're just
usually do
trying
it a
to-
year at a time, and that was what I wanted.
We were
Okay.
trying to avoid the possibility of being back here next May, would be asking for an extension, because it'd be retroactive to May of this year. So therefore, if it was a year, it would be
Yeah.
May of next year, and the chances.
That makes sense now, thank you.
Yeah.
I was missing that first May date.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're catching up right now.
yeah.
Now, Pete, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. How about you, Jen?
No,
Thank you.
And every time I drive by the church, I wonder what's going on. Now I know.
Thank you.
Slow and steady. Haven't seen the turtle out there, huh? Okay. Any concerns? All right.
No, I'll make a motion if you'd like.
Okay. Sure.
I move to grant the request for an extension of planning board conditional approval for planning board case number 23-13 to May 26, 2026.
Okay.
I did the wrong one. I'm so sorry. Strike.
Start again.
I move to approve an extension for planning board case number 22-6 to May 26, 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the first one by accident. And
Okay.
You want a second?
Second.
Okay.
Moved and seconded. All right. Let's start with you, Nancy.
Aye.
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 Jen, you're on the screen?
aye.
And Pete, you're off the screen.
He can still.
We need a split screen here.
No, he can still answer. He should be able to hear us.
Are you there, Pete?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
I said aye.
Oh,
Didn't
thank
hear
you. Didn't hear it the first time. Thank you.
I'll shout it next time.
You have the extension.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Sorry to use the wrong one.
Thank you for coming in
on you there.
person.
Made you nervous for a moment, didn't I?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
See, that's part of that one.
Okay.
Next, we have a request from Robin Helm for a waiver from section 9.6.2, perimeter buffer strip of the board's site plan review and subdivision regulations to permit the proposed construction, of a detached two-car garage within the required 50-foot perimeter buffer. Subject property is located at 4 Balsam Way on the R2 Single Family Residential Zoning District. Its tax map parcel number 89-4-4 and its planning board case number 24-15. And Dave, is it ready to be heard?
Yes.
All right, I'm looking for a motion to open this case. Please?
I'll move to open planning board case number 24-15.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Okay, Pete, you're up. How about you? How are you going to vote on this, please?
Yes,
Oh, thank you.
or aye.
Jen?
Yes,
Okay.
Aye.
John? Yes. Aye.
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 Thank you. Unanimous vote, so. Okay, Dave, can you start us off, please?
Yes, as you stated, the applicant is seeking a waiver. It's a fairly unique, it's kind of a unique request. And they're seeking a waiver from 9.6.2 perimeter buffer strip of the board site plan review and subdivision regulations to permit the proposed construction of a detached two-car garage within the required 50-foot perimeter buffer. The applicant submitted a waiver request addressing their criteria outlined in section 13.7. And the subject property is located in the Town Line Square subdivision, located off of Hampton Road. It was approved by this board back in November of 2009. So, and that plan is included in your packet. And there are various, it was, whatever the plan was, there was an open space, it might have been an open space plan, because it had the 50-foot perimeter buffer. They did get a waiver from the 35 feet on lots 3 and 5. This is lot 4 that's requesting it. They came to me and asked if, they talked to Doug for a while, and then Doug sent them to me, and I didn't really know what to do with it, so I conferred with our attorney, like saying, can you just come back, 15 years later? And they said they could. So, it's kind of, you're asking for a waiver, they'll describe it, and then I would suggest you vote on it like any waiver, evaluate the criteria. If it meets the criteria, you can grant it. If you feel it doesn't, articulate why.
So we don't take into consideration, there was already some waivers originally, or is it not this lot?
If you can, it's
So
the
we just
waiver
look at it.
criteria. It's the 5 criteria. If
As it stands right now.
If the past ties into your evaluation of the 5 criteria,
Okay.
then absolutely, it's
Okay.
certainly a fact that you can use. I guess it's up to the board to determine.
All right, thank you.
what's
This is
relevant, what's
unusual.
not.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
We're all set.
Okay.
If you understand that going on, okay, we got it figured out.
I haven't done this before, so bear with me. So I'm just going to read what I have submitted.
Perfect.
If I need to elaborate, please let me know. So first of all, thank you for letting me be here today, and Dave, for your help along the way. So I'm asking to get a waiver for the additional 35-foot perimeter buffer that is required for my property at 4 Balsam Way, which is part of the Town Line Square subdivision. The reason I'm asking for this additional buffer to be waived is to allow space for me to build a detached 2-car garage with a 1-bedroom apartment above it. Without the waiver, I do not have enough buildable space to allow for a detached garage. The intent for the structure is so my daughter, a registered nurse at Exeter Hospital, and her fiancé, a journeyman plumber, can live there while they save money for a down payment on a home in Exeter. Ideally, when I retire in 7 to 10 years, they'll purchase 4 Balsam Way from me, and I'll move to the apartment. This allows me to raise a family in Exeter, and allows me to have a family member close by as I age. I appreciate your consideration and hope that you can grant me this waiver. Addressing, I guess it's 13.7.2, 13.7.1.
Okay?
The granting of the waiver will not be detrimental to the public safety, health, or welfare of injuries to the property. Lot 4 of Town Line Square subdivision has the standard 25-foot setback for properties designated as R2 in Exeter, plus an additional 35-foot perimeter. Lots 3 and 5 have already been granted a waiver for the additional 35-foot perimeter buffer, and this waiver has not caused any detriment to public safety, health, or welfare, or injuries to other properties. There is no indication that granting the same waiver to Lot 4 would result in a different outcome. The standard 25-foot setback will ensure the public safety, health, and welfare to other properties.
Okay. Any questions on that one, folks? No? Keep going.
Okay. 13.7.2. The conditions upon which the request for a waiver is based are unique to the property for which the waiver is sought and are not applicable generally to other properties. Lot 4 of Town Line Square subdivision is narrow, only 76.34 feet wide at the widest point. The only way to build a detached 2-car garage with an apartment would be to build it where we are hoping to build it, which would require the waiver of the additional 35-foot perimeter buffer. We have explored the possibility of shifting the driveway and the front walkway to adhere to the current setbacks, but we'd be unable to utilize the current drive-under garage as the structure would not allow for an average-sized vehicle to make the turn into the garage. Lot 4 has significantly larger building envelope than any of the other lots within the subdivision. It's the only one that would allow for a detached structure to be built utilizing a portion of the 35-foot perimeter buffer. Lot 4 currently has a row of pine trees that would remain and provide a natural buffer between Lot 4 and Hampton Road. We may need to remove 2 of the existing pine trees that are on the Balsam Way side of the property to allow for access to the proposed garage, but are looking to preserve them if possible. 13.7.3, Lot 4 of the Town Line Square subdivision was narrow, only 76.34 feet wide at the widest part. I pretty much go back over and reiterate what I've said. The only way to build a detached 2-car garage with an apartment would be to build it where we're hoping to build it, which would require the waiver. We have explored the possibility of shifting the driveway, and as I explained, we wouldn't be able to use the current drive under garage. We do have the significantly larger building envelope than any of the other lots within the subdivision. It's the only lot that would allow for a detached structure to be built utilizing a portion of the perimeter buffer. Okay. The granting of the waiver will not be contrary to the spirit and intent of the regulations and property setbacks. Property setbacks play a vital role in maintaining a cohesive and visually appealing community while facilitating the provision of essential utilities. Due to the current layout of Lot 4 of Town Line Square subdivision, there's a natural buffer that is present with the existing white pines, which will preserve the intended spirit of the ordinance. The appearance of the neighborhood will be virtually unchanged if I'm granted the waiver that I'm requesting. One of New Hampshire's biggest social issues is a lack of affordable housing. I'm asking for the waiver to allow us to utilize a portion of the additional 35-foot perimeter while maintaining at a minimum the standard 25-foot setback from Hampton Road to allow for enough buildable space to build a 2-car garage with a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment above it. The livable space would be no more than 750 square feet. The intent for the structure is so my daughter, a registered nurse at the Exeter Hospital, and her fiance, a journeyman plumber, can live there while they save for a down payment on home in Exeter. Ideally, when I retire in 7 to 10 years, they will purchase 4 Balsam Way from me, and I will move to the apartment. This allows them to raise a family in Exeter and allows me to have family ties at age. The only other thing I did want to mention is I do have email confirmation from my neighbors, the abutters, with the exception of one that I didn't realize I needed to contact ahead of time, agreeing and supporting our decision to do this additional building.
Yes, thank you.
I have a question. Do you say 35 feet everywhere? It's a 50-foot perimeter buffer.
So on the
So,
plan,
'cause-
when I talked to Doug, there's a 25 and a 35, I believe.
No, there's a 35 and a 50.
A 35 and a 50.
And the 35 goes along as you're looking at your house, to the right side, to the right of Lot 5. The 35 feet goes up and around to the back of Lot 3. That was what they got relief from, because it's a 50-foot perimeter buffer the entire length.
Okay.
It surrounds it, okay? They asked for relief from the right side or the east side of that for 35. So it's 35 on that side, and then 50 in the rear, 50 on the left side, and 50 in the front.
Okay. So it's relief of the 50 then, I guess?
It's really for the 50.
Yes.
Yes, and you're encroaching, do you know how far into the 50 you are going? You have a drawing,
I
but
do.
You
So
don't?
That would be helpful.
Yes, it would.
Details.
It's been tough because we don't want to do plans until we know whether we can get the waiver or not.
Yeah, I understand
So I
that.
believe that it was about 12 to 15 feet in that would be the ideal that we were looking for.
So you're looking for make the 50
A
a
35.
35
Thank you.
along
That helps to know.
Hampton.
Hampton Road. And that's
Because
it.
Doug's gonna wanna know that, like when the plan
I-
gets submitted of, you
Yeah.
know,
What-
where actually is, if the board grants the waiver, where actually is it?
The plan I have is, it looks like pencil saying 15 feet from, I think, the buildable space to
property line.
a solid line here. I'm not sure if that's the one, and says, so I'm assuming maybe that's at 15 feet you're speaking about? I just don't know what's going to go on the plan, that's all.
Look at this one.
Oh,
Do you have that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we
Oh.
do.
wow, just a minute.
Look at that.
How did I?
Oh,
And you'll see the tree line, which is approximately 25 feet.
Oh, wait a minute.
And then you'll see the lot, but the dash line's the building setbacks.
it's behind her letter.
You got that?
yep,
Right.
got it.
So I would say it's probably shown there about 12 feet. Encroach into the 50.
Okay.
So it's,
This is a different one. It's actually 25 to the property line. Then the property line to the outer boundary is 25 feet. Because it looks like they kept this strip of land all the way around the subdivision that's probably owned by the homeowners association.
It is.
Yeah,
I think actually individually, we own the,
that's not what this shows. but-
No.
No. It doesn't, no, oh, wait a minute, wait. Oh, wait a minute, no, I see it, yes, you do. For some reason, what, I don't understand that.
I'm glad
Do you
that
see
it-
that double property
I
line?
do, but
Yeah,
it's,
I don't
this
understand
one,
it.
Yeah, I don't either.
people are
So
trying to confuse us
When
tonight.
Barb showed it to me, she explained it to me,
she knows.
and let me see if I can find where.
You were on the board then,
Can I
Lane. We
come over
should
to you,
remember
Yeah,
this.
no, now I get it.
Do you-
Yeah. It looked like, because usually that's a property line, and this is a property line,
Yes.
but it's not. These are the property lines.
And this is where I was getting these numbers from, is she said this 25 is this here, and this 35 is this here.
No. See
Yep,
this
I see it
50-foot
now.
perimeter buffer strip?
Yep.
Goes from here to there. So this 50-foot, right,
Oh.
starts right here, right, and goes all the way around, and then you see it here. It
Shrinks.
scrunches down to 35, which is 35
Yep.
from here to there. So it's 35 here, 50 all the way around, 50 in front of you. So you need 15 feet from the 50. You need to encroach up to 15 feet into the 50-foot. That's what being requested,
From Hampton Road in,
from Hampton Road.
and
Oh.
that's
Could
it.
you repeat that? Could you just
the-
repeat what you just said?
The request is to encroach up to 15 feet
Yep.
into the 50-foot perimeter buffer
Okay,
between, on Lot 4 and between
Okay.
Hampton Road.
okay.
Hampton Road,
So it's going to come closer to Hampton Road than
yeah, become, where they could build it now,
just,
right on the 50-foot perimeter buffer, it'll be 50, it could be 15 feet, up to 15 feet closer to Hampton Road.
yeah.
It would still be 35 feet
from it.
from the property line, and then the property line's probably another 5-10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Is there a garage in the house right now?
There is. There's a two-car drive under.
I wish I had driven up there to look at it. I took a picture, but off online, but, so there is, and there's a driveway, because it looks like a double driveway going into the front of the house. Is that it?
It's a single driveway.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And so where the car is parked, well, I see a car parked on the overflow parking. That's about where the garage will be.
Exactly.
Correct.
So I believe, if I remember correctly, we need to go about 8 feet back from the end of
The
the current
asphalt,
overflow
yeah.
driveway.
Okay. And you didn't seem sure about how many trees? See, a couple of trees, you said?
So there's the row that's on Hampton Road,
Yeah.
and then there's 3 that are on Balsam. We may have to remove 2 on Balsam. All of the trees on Hampton Road would remain.
Why would you need to remove those?
Look, do you see the plan?
Driveway
Yes.
Show
expanded.
that
Oh,
colored
I'm sorry, proposed driveway
See the
expansion.
two?
Yeah.
The two little green ones?
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
that's being removed for the expanded driveway.
Correct.
Okay.
The driveway to go through.
And to be honest, they're probably dying.
So you'll leave the existing and you'll have a double wide parking space in front of that garage
Yes.
on Balsam.
Okay.
Are you,
Right.
are you doing a two-car garage because it is appropriate for the size apartment that you want? Is it,
Between
I mean, it
that,
makes sense to have,
so I have, this is my daughter and her fiance behind
Really?
me. So they would be there. And then
Yep.
I also have another daughter who currently is at school, but lives with me as well.
Okay.
So with 4 cars,
I understand. Okay. Oh, nice for you. You have your girls.
I am very lucky.
You are very lucky.
I'll keep him around as long as I can.
Yeah, boy, that's great. Okay, I understand. It isn't affecting anybody. I mean, you're not impacting a neighbor. I mean, what you're encroaching upon is Hampton Road, and you still have your vegetated buffer. I don't know how low the vegetation is on the pine trees, but they tend to not have anything for the lower part of them, but
Right now, they're pretty low.
yeah, okay.
You can see how they're dying off, but my intent is, as they die off, to replace them with arborvitaes.
Or
I want to
something.
continue to have that natural buffer there.
Yeah, great.
So you said earlier that the 50-foot buffer is owned by the association?
No.
No.
Dave said that maybe.
It looked like, see the dark lines, which are usually property lines? Some of them are property lines, but some of them aren't.
Yeah,
I don't know what the purpose of those dark lines are, but
okay.
whatever.
They don't tell you.
They're old. It's an old plan,
But
right?
it's
So-
suffice to say,
Yeah.
it's.
Did this.
Right.
I'm just,
So all we really
so
are,
that property is your property, that's what I'm getting at, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
so we don't have to worry about like where the driveway might be expanded or any of that. We're just talking about the buffer for tonight, correct? That's it?
Yes.
Okay. And,
Driveway permits up to probably.
Right.
That's
DPW.
yep, I
Yep.
just wanted to clarify. And can I just, were all of your butters notified? You said something earlier about all but one.
All
And
but
I'm
one.
concerned about,
Oh, wait a
Well,
minute.
they were notified. But
Okay.
I
Yeah, they were-
personally went to
that's
each
where I
of
wanted clarification.
neighbors.
Yeah, no, you were doing it in addition to.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Before I even,
Okay, I'm fine.
long
Just
before
wanted to
that.
make sure.
Good, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Any other thoughts, concerns, or questions? Are we comfortable with the responses to the conditions? Pete, or
Do we have any public that wants to speak?
Jen?
In support, maybe?
We can take that for granted. Do you have any conditions?
All right, well.
No? Oh. Would you like a motion if there are no
I'm
conditions?
just
I
gonna
think you
say,
just, the condition would be included in the motion to where, how much you're giving.
From 50 feet
Yeah.
to 35, that's it. Okay, let me give this a try then.
okay,
After reviewing the criteria for granting waivers, I move that the request of Robin, is it Hine?
Hi.
Thank you. Planning Board case number 24-15 for relief from section 9.6.2, perimeter buffer strip of the board's site plan review and subdivision regulations to permit the proposed construction, are we getting into the, yeah, okay. To permit the proposed construction of a detached two-car garage within the 50-foot perimeter that we have now granted to reduce to 35 feet? Will that work?
Yeah,
Be
sounds-
approved.
Yep.
You all set? I'll second. if you're
Thank you.
comfortable with
I'm looking at,
Yeah, sounds good.
because I was reading and trying to wing it as in sentence, yeah. 50 feet to 35. Okay.
you have anything you'd have to have covered, Dave? Okay. Any other questions? Then let's vote. Nancy?
Yeah, aye.
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 Pete? Okay, and Jen, please.
Aye.
Thank you. It's an unanimous vote. Motion carries.
Thank you all.
And thank you.
Thank you for
This
your
is what
thorough work.
ADUs were originally thought about doing, to stay in place. And that, so
And
yay on you.
it's a great neighborhood. I don't want to leave it. And they
Well,
want
that's
to live
good
in.
to hear.
Thank you. You did really well for your first time around.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. As you know, Willie Creek has been rescheduled. So we're under our other business. TF Moran Incorporated for C31 Inc., Planning Board Case 23-13, Tax Map Parcel Number 48-3, 8 Commerce Way, requested for extension of the Planning Board conditional approval. Do we have any paperwork on that one? Or can you?
We do. I found this. You didn't get this? This had both of them. It was in my packet. So, anyway, I'll read it.
Read it.
I was like looking, I was like, oh yeah.
Once
there they
upon
are.
a
This
time.
was
Well, we love
Exonian
story
Properties
time.
too.
Yeah.
I thought it was odd, but
I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in my packet. But anyway.
Yeah, you're the lucky one.
I'm the lucky one. Dear Dave, on behalf of our client, Sea Marine Dynamics Realty LLC, we respectfully request a one-year extension of the planning board approval for planning board case number 23-13. This was approved last year at the October 12th planning board meeting, and this is the first extension request for the project. Feel free to contact us with any questions. Thank you sincerely, Jack McTeague, PE Project Manager.
so what would the date of the extension be to?
October 12th, 2025.
Thank you.
Sounds straightforward. First time they requested it. Look for a motion.
I move to approve an extension as requested by TF Moran, Planning Board Case Number 23-13, and the extension date to October 12th, 2025.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Just one question.
Yes,
since
question.
I don't have every case memorized. What is this?
You know C3I up at the end of Commerce Way? You know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They had an addition
Yeah.
that they were gonna put on. I think it was, I forget how many square feet, 4 to 8,000, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Addition that they were gonna put onto the building.
I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Well, you want to start off this time then?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Who's someone's name? Pete? Okay, and Jen?
Aye.
Thank you. Unanimous vote. Been approved. The next would be, master plan discussion.
I
Nothing,
think we,
Exonian Properties?
oh,
No, I did that one.
Oh, you did
We
that?
did
yeah,
that
we
one.
did that
Oh
one
my
earlier.
God.
we did that one already. I
Yeah,
slid it in there
you and I did
after
it.
the first case.
Well, the bike and ped, master
Oh, that's the
plan
one.
has been pretty much completed. But we want to get it in front of the select board, so, and
Yeah.
there, you know, this is a very busy time of year with budget, and we just finished the IP, so, it looks like, and then we had multiple projects going on. We just finished we recently finished the parking, downtown traffic parking, pedestrian flow study as well. So that's queued up to go to the select board meeting in the coming, you know, weeks, months.
Time,
And then
okay.
we're gonna come, you know, then after that, bring the bike and ped master plan. So it's kind of, you know, just kind of waiting to bring it back up. We didn't put, the only thing left in the master plan that was either not being worked on or wasn't completed was the complete street study, which we originally earmarked for funding in the CIP for this coming vote, but for a variety of reasons, we pulled it for, you know, to meet what the town manager wanted for kind of a budget target. And honestly, we only have so much bandwidth with these studies, and, you know, like, we gotta catch up, you know, get them through the process, you know, start implementation, so even if we did do it, it would probably wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't
Yeah.
do any implementation
Which one do
for a
you
while.
want?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was pushing to
Yeah.
bump it up a year,
Yeah.
but there is too much going
Yeah.
on, realistically, so I was convinced to
Prioritize.
stop pushing for
Yeah,
that.
it just seems, yeah. so
Yeah,
there's a
in
lot
all
going on.
fairness to everyone,
Yep,
it was a good idea. to
Yeah.
yep.
just keep it where it is.
Land use regulation reviews?
I think it's that time of year again to look, we looked at we have a couple of minor ones for
Yep.
just contradictions in the zoning ordinance. I mean, we're okay that in a sense that we apply them consistently, but like, we'd like to clean it up. So I'm gonna have we're gonna have further conversations with Doug and Barb and Kristen, just maybe we're gonna bring some cleanup, not change. It would be a substantive change that would require voter approval.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be a change, effectively, because it's how we apply it, but it's, some provisions conflict with each other, they say different things,
Yeah.
and just to make things clearer,
Housekeeping.
how we apply them.
Yeah.
So
good.
what is the process on that? Do we have to bring everything in March to the voters, even if it's a few words or
Well,
cleaning
no,
up?
if it's a substantive change,
Then it does.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the problem with that is when there's something that conflicts. And you say, okay, we're gonna get rid of this section, or rewrite this section to think, that is, you're substantively changing
So it
this
really is,
section.
yeah, okay.
It's not really substantively changing it.
It
but
really
it's
isn't,
substantially
but
changing
if it
you know?
legally is
Yeah,
defined as
so-
that,
so
then it is,
I thought
okay.
we'd just put like a host of them together. If I get enough, we'll get enough, and we'll just kind of put them out there and list them all and say,
Yep,
it's
yep.
more for just consistency.
Yeah,
and
you
the way
can, you
we
can do a
apply.
PSA with Exeter TV explaining.
Yes.
the-
So we might do that. If there's anything that anyone has any knowledge about that they struggle with the zoning ordinance, this is a zoning ordinance, site plan, sub-regs, we can do. But anything
Yeah.
with the zoning ordinance, let us know, and then we'll obviously have, that discussion will be moving forward in the next couple months here at the planning board anyway.
Good.
We get something together.
Any,
That's what I have. Thank you.
any field modifications cooking right now? Whoops.
Nope, it wasn't. There was some change to an underground electric scheme, but it didn't amount to a field modification. It was just something that would be captured in an as-built. I just did that today. The 19 Continental Unitil didn't want it over here, they wanted it over there. But it's all underground, so can't see it.
Any more bond being returned?
We did not.
Okay. So there's some construction going on behind the buildings. You can't go down the back driveway, whatever, Dave. Is Mario's project going ahead now? On the,
I don't know if well, we met with the contractor, Doug, several of us, because they were looking for an obstruction permit to take a couple of, in the morning, have deliveries and keep a couple of parking spots open, I think till 10 a.m. or something like that, so they could have deliveries and, unload. But that's the last I've heard of them. I wouldn't know that up to date, day to day, because that would be Doug. They're dealing with Doug now on the building permit level.
okay.
So,
Because I noticed that was gated off and,
oh, it was?
yeah.
Yeah, it has
Okay, then
been.
it's, yeah, I haven't noticed that yet.
I think they
Then it
I
started.
think they
That's what
removed
they
the-
were gonna do.
I think they
I've
removed
not
the
seen
back wooden
any,
part.
like blocked off parking like I'm seeing in other parts, so that's,
Yeah, all they asked for was the 5 spots in front to just have deliveries in the morning.
right,
till
but only
10.
till 10, and that's when the store's open, so.
Exactly.
Very much appreciate that request.
We kind of narrowed that down. They wanted to do that. We suggested that. And then
Thank you.
They ended up gating it off. They had a different plan, but they ended up gating it off, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that. It's not our property, it's not a public right of way or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a sewer that goes through there.
Right,
you
to
know,
the
but
easement,
It's a
but-
private sewer.
yeah, yeah.
So it's an easement to the
Okay.
people
Our
that,
merchants need a break.
yes, yeah. So we thought it was a
Okay.
good plan, and I forget what they were anticipating, but maybe a 12, 16-month construction.
Okay.
Just as an announcement, and you may know that, I should know the date. You might know the date for the hazmat.
Oh, it's this
I
weekend,
don't-
I
Is it
think,
this
isn't it?
weekend?
No, wait a minute, it's October,
next
hold on.
Just to remind
It's a
people,
Saturday,
if you
so
have-
just bear
October
with me
sometime, I
one
think.
moment, and I will tell you.
Hazmat collection
October,
date?
it's a Saturday, so it'd be the 12th.
Saturday,
of
12th of October.
12th, I believe. Let me just double check.
And where's that taking place? Down at the
Rockingham Planning, so it's out.
It's out at
the
DPW.
DPW.
DPW, yeah. And that serves several towns, I believe, now.
It does.
Yep.
It does, it does. So check the
Okay.
website and.
Anything else for the good of the order? You got anything to add, Pete?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Jen?
I'm all set. Have a good night, everyone.
Okay, would you make a motion to adjourn?
I'm so moved.
Okay,
Yes.
It's Pete's second.
all right, Pete seconded, all right. Well, we stand adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you very much for.
Thank you for tuning in
Coming
to
this
Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.